Hello everyone. Welcome back to Unday Radar Talks. Not all chipmakers will see the kind of growth NVIDIA has amid the artificial intelligence boom. AMD on Tuesday reported first quarter earnings and sales that were slightly above Wall Street expectations, and the company also provided second quarter guidance. However, the company's stock price still fell 9% in opening trading on Wednesday. The company reported first quarter revenue of $5.47 billion, compared with expectations of $5.46 billion. Adjusted earnings per share were 62 cents, compared with expectations of 61 cents. The company said it expected second quarter sales of about $5.7 billion, in line with Wall Street estimates for total sales. This represents an annual growth rate of approximately 6%. We can see from the daily chart that AMD stock price has fallen below the recent low on April 19th. There were a large number of orders at this level, but it still fell below this level. As of 1 p.m., 55 million AMD shares had been traded. Today's trading volume is likely to be 2 times that of the previous day. We can see from the 10-minute chart that AMD stock had a large number of orders traded at the opening, but the price was still moving downwards. At midday, we saw some bullish forces pushing up the stock price. It is uncertain whether the stock price will continue to rise in the afternoon, and we have not yet heard the latest news from the Federal Reserve on interest rates. The semiconductor sector fell the most today. The sector suddenly crashed at the last moment of the close on Tuesday, so it's not surprising that it fell sharply today. The stocks of rival companies such as NVIDIA and Taiwan Semiconductor have accumulated a lot of profit-taking at the recent bottom. Ends at 1:30 p.m. NVIDIA fell more than 5%. Taiwan Semiconductor fell by more than 2%. Broadcom fell by more than 3%. Qualcomm fell by nearly 1%. And Intel fell by nearly 1%. The semiconductor sector fell nearly 4%. But it's difficult to say whether the sector has hit a bottom or whether it will rebound on Thursday. Data shows that AMD stock had a net outflow of $12 million as early as April 26th. There was a net outflow of $162 million on April 27th, and a net outflow of $246 million on April 30th. The stock currently has a net outflow of $657 million. But whether these capitals enter or exit the market still needs to be observed for another trading day. 35 analysts have rated AMD stock in the past 3 months and have given it a 12-month price target. 80% gave a buy rating. Hold rating accounts for 20%. AMD's highest price target is 265.00. The lowest is 140.00, and the average price target is $195.69. The company's stock is falling, but analysts' overall rating remains a strong buy. As of 1:45 p.m., the S&P 500 index fell 0.26%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 36%. It's not surprising that there's such a big difference. The S&P 500 was in the lead on Tuesday, and small-cap stocks fell too much yesterday. Now, markets are in some sort of risk-off mode, worried that the Fed will be more hawkish than expected and try to tighten financial conditions as the economy and inflation continue to be stronger than they expect. Researchers at Wolfe Research said Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is likely to take a tougher tone at a press conference after the central bank's policy meeting on Wednesday. If so, many stocks would be subject to even greater selling. AMD stock is up just 4% year to date. This shows that AMD's artificial intelligence growth prospects may not be as strong as some hope. This is in stark contrast to NVIDIA's recent dominance in artificial intelligence. But the latter is now also starting to fall significantly. The semiconductor industry has been one of the stock market's biggest winners over the past year. But there's some hype here. Now investor enthusiasm for artificial intelligence stocks has slowed. The long-term trend of AMD stock is still driven by its performance, but short-term investors may find profit opportunities from the stock in the short term. AMD stock's late trading today will provide evidence on whether it will rebound tomorrow. However, the power of short sellers is still very strong at present, and negative sentiment is affected by the market. So it may not be a good idea to buy the dip here. Just saw the latest news that the Federal Reserve kept interest rates steady on Wednesday and decided not to cut them in response to continued price pressures. The central bank kept its short-term benchmark interest rate at a target range of 5.25% to 5%, a widely expected move. The federal funds rate has been at this level since July 2023. The Federal Open Market Committee voted to ease the pace of reducing the bond holdings on the Fed's balance sheet, a move that could signal a gradual easing of monetary policy. After the decision was announced, the S&P 500 and Dow Jones indexes began to rise. AMD stock has started to move sharply higher, but I think the stock still has the potential to find a strong support level on the downside. If selling pressure remains heavy, a drop to the $137.50 area is also possible. We see from the daily chart that this area has a large number of orders filled. We can currently view this level as an effective support level. That's it. This is my analysis. If you have different ideas, please leave a message below. Thank you for watching. If you like my video, please give a thumbs up and click the subscribe button. See you in the next video.